The road to investing for me certainly wasn't linear, and in the beginning it was a bit of a clusterfuck. Specifically, the first job I had at a college was a major clusterfuck. It had kind of the three main ingredients. It was a place that had illusions of what the business was supposed to do and how to do it, especially in an ethical way. It was impatient to drive results that were built upon that foundation, and it was incompetent in terms of handling the employees and handling the technology needed to actually deliver on that product. So specifically, we were tasked with providing tutoring service to failing schools, which sounds like a good idea in principle, but what actually ended up happening was you would receive inbound students that were requesting tutoring service, but they were fraudulently signed up for this tutoring service. Many times the families wouldn't speak English, and so reps were incentivized and comped on signing them up for tutoring service. So my job then was, along with a few others, was to administer tutoring service by connecting students with tutors. But many times tutors would show up to homes and nobody would be there, or nobody would have an interest in providing in receiving that service. So we were then evaluated based on a completion rate for our students, where a good number of them, as many as 30%, so in some instances higher, had no interest or desire to take on this service. And many of those requests were fraudulently recorded. So what ended up happening was the organization was found out to be fraudulent. It ended up being shut down as a result of bad business practice, and it was, in my opinion, kind of the poster child of clusterfuck, or another way to think about it is institutional insanity, because everybody is sort of driving towards this goal of trying to meet a graduation rate of your students at 90%, but if you're automatically starting at 30% behind in terms of those who actually don't want to take these courses, you have a problem. And so the culture of this job was also highly restrictive. It was competitive to hit those numbers because they were so challenging. So call volume was monitored, call activity was monitored, and really did not provide a place for creativity to thrive. And really kind of taught me to do one's due diligence early on when trying to find a right place of employment, and also to follow your gut early on. If something doesn't really smell right, something doesn't really feel right, chances are after a few days, if not weeks, it's probably not the right fit, and that's okay as long as you listen to that feeling and don't pretend like you're imagining something.